Buddy, can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me in there. And let's see. I don't see anything scrolling by, so maybe give me a 5x5.
Maybe don't.
It says we are live.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't come on until 2.
That's right. Guest left. Oh, bummer.
Um,
Oops. Okay. Guest left.
anyway,
Okay. Well, that was that. No, that didn't work. Okay. Live chat. Oh, 5 to 5. 5.
5x5, so
Add
you can hear
Brent.
me.
Welcome.
So you guys can hear me out there.
Says 5 by 5.
5x5, sweet. Love it.
Okay.
All right, guys,
Okay. There you go.
let's get this off there.
Okay. You have to go like this. None.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Let's try Brent.
Hey,
Try Brent.
We're gonna just kind of chill out here a little bit so we can let people come in after 2 o'clock. I'm sure it'll fill right up. Yeah. Can everybody hear Brent?
hi everybody. Yeah, let us know in the chat. I'll be reading comments from you guys, and we'll be running on that. Is
You
there
got 5x5?
is there a big lag when you're watching it? Because it looks normal to us, but is it lagging on YouTube?
Yeah.
Let us
I'm
let
getting-
us know, crew.
Yeah, there is, but I'm not getting any lag at all from your vocals.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah. Hey, B-Man.
I love you, Dad. Happy Mother's
Love
Day
you
to
too.
everyone today.
Yeah, right?
All you
Like-
moms out there, thank you.
Yeah. We have to thank all the moms out there. It is the official Sunday, Mother's Day, and Brent and I have he has a very special mother that did a fantastic job with Brent, obviously.
Yeah,
While I was out
Mama
to
did-
sea, screwing
Mama didn't
around.
raise no fool.
No, we didn't have any fools in the family. Started with good genes, but mostly good parenting, I think. And
Oh yeah.
B-Man was who he was. Is.
I have 4 great parents. And
Yeah, you're blessed.
I'm very blessed.
So Elizabeth isn't going to be on these shows typically. She's leaving. She's off to work. Poor thing. She's got to work the next couple days. She'll be out of town a little bit. But those of you who saw the show yesterday, I thought it was amazing. There were so many great comments. We ended up with probably, a couple of thousand people saw that thing, which is really amazing. Our community is growing. We're learning so much about each other just through Vegas and what you guys want from my show and what content you're looking for. And every time I suggested Elizabeth to anybody, like, oh wow, is she here? Is Brent here? Where are they? So it was really fun to hear everybody be so excited about what we offer and the way we do it. Brent and I are, how do I explain this other than father and son, clearly, but best friends in a lot of ways, in a way that most fathers and sons aren't.
Yeah.
And I know I mentioned this many times. I'm sorry, I'm taking the limelight here real quick. I'm just doing a little intro for you, Brent.
You're doing
In the
great,
very
Dad.
beginning of doing this show, it was only Brent and I. And that's how this show started. We drove back from Texas after being in a crypto show. And we sort of looked at each other and thought, well, we can do that. Why aren't we doing that? And it really, since then, has been a massive part of my life, like just being with you guys and being able to share my thoughts and my ignorance, if you will, with all of you. And this is something that Brent has experienced his whole life. And he thought it was a good idea. So we went with it. But Brent adds a perspective to my life, which is obviously a generation down from me. But he and I understand crypto almost identically, but he really sees crypto in more of a use case than I do, better than I do, for sure. And we both see the use case of it clearly, but
Hmm.
I think the younger generation, the younger you are, the more use case it makes a lot of sense to you. So Brent's going to bring love, compassion, use case, jokes. He's funnier than I am by a long shot. But we'll,
I was up till 2 in the morning last night, just thinking about pretty much everything you just said. You know, it was like we see it so similarly, but all of us are different, and we all have our different angles and what we understand about anything really. And
yeah,
and with crypto, I Dad has this. He's even more optimistic than I am. Just just big picture, like I'm still kind of stuck in the mud of like, man, I just want something to work for all of us across the board globally.
yeah,
And you know, and I'm huge, huge fan of what is happening with these technologies. It's really fun to research it. It's really fun to see the passion that our friends and other creators have done on YouTube and other platforms. And
yeah,
so when we started this channel, it was about a year and a half ago. Thank you all for the love and support. At the time, I was moving back to California, and I had a bunch of free time, and I was helping my dad work on his farm a lot, and so I was able to be on the show more. And then I had to go back to work full time, and so we're kind of gearing up to do these live shows, and we really want to go all the way with this thing, because I think it's already happened, right, Dad? That like
yeah,
our dream for this has already been fulfilled. Like it's
right,
like we're on bonus time right now. Like
yeah,
just to hear my dad's stories about Vegas and meeting you guys and sharing stories and sharing who you are and sharing your passion, um it is what this whole dream was about to
yeah,
my dad and I. It
yeah,
you know, that was number one, and we're living it. We're living
yeah,
it, and I'm excited to be a bigger part of it here in the future with you.
yeah. It's going to be fun. It is.
Yeah,
It's been fun.
yeah.
It's.
I,
I look
I
back. I
our
look
our
back. It's been.
conversations are crazy, man. They're still.
Yeah,
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 no, you said it, Dad. I mean, my dad has been, as far as people to talk to, by far and away my best friend I've had in my life. Um, I was thinking about it earlier, Dad.
same.
I was like, you know what? My old man's never really even lost his cool with me. Like we can get stubborn and hard headed about some stuff, but man, there's nothing that I wouldn't talk to you about. There's nothing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so it's going to be fun too to expand and get to know the crew more. And
Right.
you know, as we meet more of you guys, like kind of what you're interested in and what you're
Sure.
passionate about too, and we can talk about that and enjoy that with each other.
Yeah. I don't know what's
Yes.
happening out there, but like all of a sudden, our live streams have been miserable to watch, but we're getting better at it. But um, I've always thought that my forte would be live stream. I really did, and I always thought that I'm a better interviewer or interviewed individual, if you will. And I thought that's really where this channel would go. So I think we're heading there. And as soon as I started doing live streams, everybody blew me up. Like, I want to interview you, like immediately. So
Of course.
just since yesterday, I've had 3 different channels that are looking into interviewing us on this channel. So uh, 2 of them were about, hey, I want Elizabeth on my show. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, okay. If that's what you're into, I get the whole legal, and you got a million legal questions. She's still studying the case, and when you understand Elizabeth, like Brent does,
Mm.
she doesn't go halfway. You know,
No.
she's like she wants to really know it really well before she starts talking out her ass about it. You know what I mean? Like, which is what all of us are doing about the case, because none of us are the attorney on the inside. So we're all speculators with what's happening with the XRP and Ripple case. But
Yeah.
so
My
I
my
had,
stepmom is she's brilliant. She really is
yeah,
brilliant, and brilliance too comes with hard work. And she is one of the hardest workers I've ever met.
she's
Um,
tireless.
yeah, tireless,
Really,
and
really.
uh, and that's something that for me personally I've had to work on in my life. And
Yeah,
Elizabeth has inspired me in that. I've seen what I can do when I put my head down and get
yeah,
stuff done. I can get a dream yacht job and start a YouTube channel and go
yeah.
live wherever I want and do all the. You just gotta work out a little bit, know what you want, and
Make it happen.
yeah, make it happen. And
I,
Elizabeth makes it happen.
yeah, oh yeah. We went to dinner the other night, and a friend of ours invited us to this really nice dinner, and we sat down, and he's a really hardworking person, and he said, "I have to tell you that couple right there are the two of the hardest working people I know, and how they do it and what everything they get done is beyond me. Like I don't even understand how you guys get done what you do." And
Yeah,
it's because honestly, it's because that's just who we are. And but number one, but number two, in particular, like I'm studying crypto and the space and banking in the world right now so much because I really think I was going to save this for later in the show, but let's sort of throw it out there and see what sticks. I really think that crypto is had a bit of a lull, and because we're at this point in particular, if you're XRP fans, it's just been so trying. It's been 2 years of a court case, and it's just been brutal. And then now we have this new attorney come along, and she's studying up on the case, and I had a text conversation last night with you guys. Thank you, Becky, for reaching out. He's going to interview me, or we're going to interview each other, however that goes, on Lewis's channel. And I find his work just brilliant. But he was like in his live stream. Somebody sent his live stream because he was mentioning me in it, and I was listening to his voice, and you could see it in his eyes. He's fading. He's like, man, this is getting tough. This is a tough bear market we're in. And I'm struggling to find content and not reason to live or to create more content, but you could see it in him. Like this is a lull right now. The
yeah,
country, the government's coming after us, and the banks are. You would think with banks imploding that we would all be crypto going through the roof, but it's holding its own at least, which is good. But
hmm
yeah,
yeah. It feels steady right now.
and I'm using this lull basically to just inform myself even more to where the space is going and why we don't need banks and why Web3 and AI is so important to the future of all of us and how we're going to use it to our benefit, to the crew's benefit,
Yeah,
I should say. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's
Whatever
what I've
we
been doing.
whatever we figure out, we're gonna be sharing with you guys as
Yeah,
always.
oh, yeah. And Brent, many of you probably already know this, but many probably don't. Brent went to a guy's school, Ivan on Tech,
hmm
and he
Yeah,
did some online courses and some other stuff about blockchain and crypto in general. If those of you who know Ivan on Tech show, it's a brilliant show. He's a brilliant young
brilliant.
man. Yeah,
And he brought on other instructors and
yeah,
other people who are creators and in the game like he is, and they were all brilliant. I thought, and
right.
gave really hands-on. That's something that I've talked about on this show. Is like Dad said about me. Is it's about use case. It's about the building of. In my mind, it's about the building of the applications, and it's about having the right coins and wallets so that we can trade amongst each other. It's that
Yeah,
simple, right?
yeah,
And what was so cool about Ivan on Tech is um, they give you training and practice, and they like any good school, they have you do it. They, here
Yeah.
you got to get this done. And here's,
Right.
if you have any questions, here's a
Hurry up.
chat room with your professor, and if I can't answer it, somebody else in here is going to be able to answer it. And
Yeah.
it was incredible. It was weird. Dad and I were just talking about this last 2 nights ago, or yeah, when we last talked.
He and I talked for hours,
But
by the
about
way.
but like their fintech course, and
Yeah.
the future of DAOs, and that was the big one that I learned. That was the one that I was just like, what? Yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't, I kind of understand the concepts, but they have you do it, and they have you get
Yeah.
into it. And I think, again, you were telling a story, Dad, about someone you had met from XRP, I believe. And the sounds like all three of us are on the same page of like, if people just understood how to make money holding it,
Yeah.
how to earn an income and how to earn a living just by
Right.
hanging on to your crypto, I think that would generate more interest, and I feel like more people would come to it.
Yeah.
A lot of
That
people
was,
do that. A lot of
what
people
was
I know do
his
use
name?
that and do that.
Man, I'm terrible. That's terrible. I should know his name. The CEO from Reaper was the guy I was talking with at the show, and many of you probably could post in the chat what his name is. Reaper Company. He and I talked for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I mean, it was amazing. I learned so much from him, and I had heard a few of his interviews in the past, but they've come so far since then. It's basically exactly what Brent was just saying. How you're gonna uh, isolate your coins in different ways and still have like avenues to them. So
Mhm.
outside of your wallet, but still contained. And still only, maybe you split, the 12 seed phrase, both sides has, half the half the words or whatever. And they've done so much research on failure rates and how it would work and all that stuff, but still retaining anywhere between 6 and 10% interest to you annually on your Ripple, XRP. That's huge.
That's so huge.
That's good stuff. But
Yeah.
that's for a different show. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
to invest in something that is
yeah,
it right, in our opinion, no matter what happens with the court case or any of the rest of it, it's going to
yeah,
be used all
yeah,
over the world, and
yeah.
so you can hold in hopefully an appreciating asset, and then also be making money with it.
Right, right.
Huge. It's huge, guys.
And
Um,
it's like hotter than Shania Twain in the '90s in here, and I don't know what's going on.
it's hot here too. I wish I could open my window, but my
Yeah,
allergies are so bad here. It's like I'm bushwhacking through a jungle, just walking around outside right now. I live in
right,
the most biodiverse county in California, I'm
right.
pretty sure, and nature is alive and well right now. Happy
Yeah.
spring, everybody!
So spring is thriving with the
Man,
pollen. Yeah, you get out, my car is just yellow. I have a white truck, and it's yellow every morning. So it's coming down.
yeah.
But I know Matt's probably watching. Matt lives in Tascadero, Brent. So
Oh,
we're
A
gonna,
Town, baby.
yeah,
Matt,
we're
what
gonna
up,
meet up.
brother?
Yeah, so cool. The people in the crew here. I mentioned I had solar problem. Solar guy pops up. Mentioned I was having an air conditioning issue, and HVAC guy pops up, which is Matt. And I noticed he had an 805 number, and I was like, oh, cool, man. That guy's local. So, yeah, it was good. It was just
Nice.
so the way people pour their lives out to you. Speaking of two mothers out there, I don't want to go on a downer note, but they're such a strength to me, and the individuals that they are, and they know who they are, and I'm not going to call them out, but both of these ladies have lost children in this past year. And the moms that they are here on Mother's Day, their strength and their ability to go forward and march forward and still see the betterment for all man. And it's a it's something that Elizabeth and I talk about all the time. It's like, how do you do that? Like how you do, we all do what we have to do, and we're in that situation. But blessings out to both of you and all mothers, but especially the two of you. How you went through that was just champion and amazing. And it really was their trust and faith in God and many other things that brought them through. And because of that, we're all a better, stronger society, and certainly a better group in this chat for sure, because of people like them in it. Yeah, it was amazing. I wasn't trying to go down with it. I was trying to really, those people are amazing. And every day, we think everyday problems that we have, my flat tire today. Oh my, I was late for work, Well, there's real
Yeah.
problems out there, and people are dealing with them, in my opinion, better than ever before, because it seems like people they're practiced. We're in challenging times, so people are getting really better at handling themselves. It's just
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. It's
I'm
a
really
testament.
enjoying kind of going out and being social on my time off, and it's just it seems like everybody's walking around in a much better mood.
Yeah, good.
I think
Yeah,
we're all happy to be back together. Deep down, however social you are,
yeah,
um, it's just nice, to be able to go out and get energy. And I feel like, yeah, I get so much energy from people. Um,
yeah.
I'm all about that. And
We got,
yeah, shout out to those moms. That's the real strength in the
yeah,
world.
wow. Dude,
Those kinds
with
of things.
for all the people that came up to me in Vegas and said, "Hey, where's your son at?" Right there. There he is.
Uh
I
huh.
told you in Vegas, I said, "Listen, we're gonna do live chats. We're trying to iron the whole thing out. I promise we're gonna get together, and he and I are gonna talk life, happiness, well-being, what it
Yes.
means to be in a great relationship with your parent, um, crypto, banking, economics. We're going to cover the whole gauntlet. And all of that is going to be through your chats. And I'm going to set that up better than it is right now, because we're still working all the bugs out of stuff. And there's nothing more challenging than going live. Any of you that's ever tried it, it's just, there's no practice. It's boom, you're live.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Well, wait a minute. I wasn't ready. And then you're
This is my
standing there,
first. This is my first time ever doing it, and I've been troubleshooting it for the last hour.
yeah, it's,
I was
you would think
I
it'd be
was
real
drinking
simple.
I was drinking a Red Bull, and I was shaking, working on my keyboard. I'm like, oh, but it's gonna start soon.
Yeah, lay off the Red Bull next time, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a good idea. I was trying to
Make sure,
counteract the allergy medication I have to take when I wake up.
right? Yeah,
Trying to level the playing field.
IV a little Red Bull in the morning and get through the medication. So
It's good for you.
right. So what do we got in the chat there, Brent? Anything
Okay.
hilarious or interesting? Now that we're a 20-minute intro.
Wow, that was a cool comment. Was just listening to Wayne Dyer last night because Brent popped up in my mind.
Nice.
That was XR Peaky Blind AR.
Nice.
Very, very cool comment. Yeah, I did the video on here, the Dyer Dozen. And
Yep.
like Dad was just saying, we're going to talk about life and betterment. And of all the reading I've done in my life, it's self-care, self-help, trying to be more open-minded, trying to expand the peace inside myself,
Yeah.
be even more loving and patient, And Wayne Dyer was one of my great mentors for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was an incredible man.
Yep. Really.
I
Really.
I got one for you, Dad. I
Uh-oh.
just finished while I was troubleshooting. I just finished your AI video that you just posted, and I absolutely loved it.
Thanks.
I'm a little biased, everybody. I like all of my dad's shows a lot. I've
I'm a little critical and he's a little biased, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell Dad this ad nauseum, but he does such a good job of remembering something, like a tidbit about something, and just connecting that. He's one of the most gifted storytellers I've ever met. And none of it's bogus or far fetched or trying to offend anybody ever. It's just trying to have fun, interesting conversations. And
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
that's why I want to do a show with my dad, a YouTube
Yeah.
show with my dad. It's like when you're those kinds of people, and you enjoy the conversation and you love people and you love the world and you want to
Yeah.
see it be a better place for all of us. Like,
I hung out with this guy in Vegas for like, I don't know, well, a few of you. I went to dinner with Landon and I spent some time with Sage. And I was hanging with this one guy and he came up to, oh man, I love your show. I love your show. And I said, well, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm like, well, I'm going over here to this section of the hotel. Come on with me. Let's just go walk. We must have talked for 45 minutes because he wanted to hear about this show and that show and that show. And like, he wanted to hear about 5 different shows. And he was just like, how do you remember all those shows, man? Like,
yeah,
no way you could put yourself right back in that spot. And for me, that's just who I am. I don't study this or practice this and I was laughing with Zach Rector, and Zach's like, dude, no, I have to like chill. I have to figure it out. I got to get in the zone. And then I get out. So like, man, I'll just turn a camera on and go like I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
That's who I am. I'm lucky that way. You know what I'm really lucky about is people find it entertaining. That's what I'm fortunate about. Because a lot of people would be, like my wife, be like, yeah, I've heard all that. I'm not, no, we're not.
Right.
We're good. Yeah,
we'll see how they feel about us in 5 years, Dad.
That's right.
They're like, they're just too darn optimistic, those two. I can't deal with it anymore.
Well, we're going to be such every month that I've done this show, that we've done the show. It just has evolved, and I got to tell this story. It's one of my favorite stories ever. I was just reading about El Salvador again. And Brent and I, one of our very first videos was about El Salvador because they were going to pass the Bitcoin law. And I was reading some stats this past week. They used to have over 60 murders a day in that country. There's only 6 million people there. Okay. 60 murders a day. They haven't had a murder in 365 days in the country.
Wow.
When I read that, I almost cried. I was like, oh my God, crypto is winning. It's the number 2 selling in the history of bonds. The EBB1 is the number 2 selling bond ever sold in the history of man. Sold out, like boom, gone. Forget about it. You can't get it. And they paid the IMF off. Yeah, they just said, bye-bye, IMF. No more. We don't need you. Well, thank you. This is a big one. He said by the end of 2023, Senor Bukele, their president, they said that by the end of 23, January 24, they would no longer, the citizens of El Salvador would never pay tax again. Okay. He just came out last week and said, no mas, no more tax. People are not paying income tax. He's 6 months ahead. Just think back as to when you've ever had a politician be 6 months ahead of schedule, let alone a year ahead of schedule, on anything. And he's a year ahead on one thing and 6 months ahead on the other. He's a year ahead on paying the IMF off. That's all due to crypto guy. Whether you're a Bitcoin fan or not a Bitcoin fan, it doesn't matter because it's crypto and it's being used in a way that is changing the world. And that's huge evidence of just that. So anyway, you can look those shows up. We did a few of those shows, but yeah.
Thinking about it, like just psychologically about them, and when your country is like, okay, I'm investing in this heavy, it behooves you to understand it and figure out how you're going to use it. And I was like thinking, like we were talking when I was doing school stuff to learn it. Once you commit and invest yourself to learn something like that, like anything else, there's a little bit of a curve with it. It's a little tricky for all you newbie people to blockchain, but it's getting better, and it's bridging to each other, and it's really cool because we're not like that's tough to put talking about other people, but like I just feel like when your son learns it and your dad learns it and maybe your grandma learns it,
right,
it just goes wildfire,
right,
with anything.
yeah,
Then you
yeah,
use it, and then you use it twice. Okay, once the first time you go into a store and pay with Bitcoin. Oh man, okay, I kind of figured out my app. I got my phone. I got it. I did it. And then the next time's that much easier. It's that much easier. It's that much easier. And an entire country is jumping into that. And what kind of influence and spread does it go from there?
Right.
And so that was one of our first videos on this channel, and it's still one of my favorites. The feedback that we got and the love that we got really kind of sent this thing on its way. And it was that video for sure.
It was, yeah.
Shout out to you, El Salvador. Like to get there someday, Dad.
Do we still have a live chat going, Brent?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We never needed the IMF.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crypto Truth. Dan remembers that video.
Nice.
We love that one, man.
I did 3 of them, I think. Three or 4 now that I think about it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So we are still live. That's good because my camera says we're not. Well, yeah. It just says.
Mine says we're still alive.
Good. Yeah. So this is an AMA. So if you guys can throw down something there for Brent to answer or to myself to answer, either way.
Yeah. Any questions? Just see some really cool comments right now.
Cool.
Any questions?
We love y'all.
Hit us with it.
Yeah. I mentioned something on a live stream yesterday, and like 5 people texted me. Sage especially hit me. I texted, hey, in the live stream I said, would it be kind of cool to maybe get, the XRP in particular, because that's the group that all went to Vegas together, but get the content providers to all meet up in one spot and do like a retreat. I don't know how you would do it, but so that we could meet all of you guys. You know what I mean? It was so much fun meeting everybody, and there was, I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but there was somebody who's a content provider And he comes up to me and he goes, "Oh no, I just hide from everybody." Like, I was like, "What?" He's like, "Well, it's just crazy, man. They're in my face." And it's like, not everybody's that type of person. You know what I mean? So I didn't fault the guy. He was clearly shaken. He was like, "Man, this is gnarly. No, I'm going to my room right after the show." And I was like, "Slow down, buddy. There's nobody gonna bite you or anything." But I had so much fun that my voice went bad. But it would be really good to have like a place that we could all meet, because the text I got when I mentioned that in the live stream yesterday, everybody was like, "Oh, dude, I can't wait a whole year. I'm not doing that."
Right?
You know? Like, why do we have to wait a whole year to meet up again? And there
I'm,
were
I'm,
so
def-
many,
I'm definitely going to the next one. That
yeah,
was
yeah.
that was boneheaded
There was
not getting to this one.
there were so many people that just couldn't make it, and it sold out. I couldn't believe how early it sold out. And
Mhm.
it's going to be double the size next year at least.
You
At
guys
least.
got to double the size of that thing, please, please,
But then it's
triple
not
it,
as
triple
intimate.
it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it'll be that. I mean, there's no question in my mind that, in particular, XRP. I mean, I know we have a lot of XLM fans too, but XRP is just going to have an arm. It has an army, but it's going to absolutely dominate the crypto world over the next 5 to 10 years. So I know Bitcoin has these 32,000 things in Miami, and it's going to be huge. That's where XRP will be. It will be there within, I don't know, if they get out of the courtrooms and get onto the, improving people's lives, that would be a big step, obviously.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Soon. Soon, please.
Soon.
Yeah. And then Elizabeth hit me with some really bad news today. I went, "Oh, we don't know. I don't want that." Please, no. But it's not real bad news. It's just something she uncovered that, we'll talk about next weekend.
All
But
all the questions right now, Dad, are one was, do we know anything when we're going to hear from the judge about XRP and the outcome of the trial?
that would be a question that even Elizabeth couldn't answer, to be honest.
Mhm.
When they deliberate like this, she could be in the bed relaxing on a beach for all we know. We don't, you know, I don't mean to paint that picture, but it's reality. So, um, I will say this is my opinion only.
Mhm.
And I've said this to Elizabeth, she goes, "Well, sometimes that's the truth, but sometimes it's not real. So whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, well." Elizabeth, if you guys haven't figured this out, she's a dose of reality. Like, there's not a lot of sugarcoat there.
No.
That's a donut without any frosting on it,
Mhm.
you know? So it's a delicious donut. And there's so many great parts about the complexity of the way her mind works that, and first take, she's not gonna tell you what you want to hear. She's gonna
Mhm.
tell you what the facts are. She's not gonna sugarcoat. So get back to what you're saying. I I'm not gonna guess, but I will tell you that I was on Zach's show in October,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure I said May or June in October, and here we are.
Yeah.
So maybe May or June. I,
Yeah. I was
but I
thinking
did
it's
it.
going to be March.
Yeah,
March
but I
came
did a
came and went.
video. Yeah, I did a video New Year's Day that some of you maybe watched that said, "This is a video about everything I got wrong about last year." It was a lengthy video. So I will I will be getting a
Nice.
lot of things wrong for you this year and more to come. But
Yeah.
I try not to do the prediction thing. It it
Yeah,
really,
no, totally.
yeah.
It's
But
such a
according to Elizabeth, the trial would be somewhat short if we go to trial, which she's leaning that way. I know many of us who followed the case maybe a little bit longer than she has. We don't think that they ever want the Hinman stuff to come out. So we don't believe that they'll ever want that exposed. And I brought that up to her and she said, yeah, these people aren't in any jeopardy of being thrown in jail or prison or even in trouble for lying, cheating, and stealing. I went, yeah, that's a really good point. You know, you and I be in
Yeah.
prison for what they do, but that's not what happens to these people. And you and I know that. And it's sad that we have to learn that lesson. And it's the,
At a tremendous cost.
yeah,
I always come back to the deregulation of
right,
investment banks, and once
yeah,
Citigroup happened, and once uh, these once
default,
once your local bank is you know given the golden ticket and able to,
yeah,
it's very hard not to not try to earn for yourself or not give into that kind of temptation versus like,
yeah,
okay, I got to try to run this thing for 30 years for all of my clients, and
right,
I got to try to do the best job possible.
yeah,
um and I'm like my dad. I don't judge people on it either way now, because I understand trying to want to make money and
yeah,
opportunity. And
yeah.
yeah, sometimes you just
It,
do it anyway.
I,
And you might be wrong, you might feel bad or feel wrong at the end of it, and you're like, well,
yeah,
sounded good at the time, sounded good at the time, but
right. I
some of
do have
those.
some Inside Skinny coming up Tuesday, I think. We're supposed to call either Monday or Tuesday. That's with my Goldman guy, and and I asked him a couple of questions to look into, but he already texted me back yesterday, and told me I was kind of spot on something. And so I'll let a little bit out of the bag real quick. Um, what I was asking him was, this is a heavy video, so I'm not going to tell you what the punchline to the thing is because I want to do a whole video about it. But essentially, this is what's occurring to the big banks and all the banks right now was planned. We know that. This is part of the plan. We know that. The consolidation, we know that. They're trying to solidify themselves. These small banks are being selected. We know that. They don't like this bank, that bank. They're part of the problem. They're an exposure. They're a risk. They're not leverage. They're too leveraged. Let's weed all these people out. Well, I hit him with a corporate level of the same equation. In essence, almost all the banks in America are corporations in America are zombie corporations. Virtually all of them. And he said, well, I wouldn't go that far. And I said, well, okay, other than the top 10 in the S&P 500, of those 490 of them, name me one of them that's even 1.5 times its stock value. Phone was quiet. None. None are even half their stock value. Like when you're that insolvent as a bank, it's one thing. But when you're the corporations that hire everybody in America and you're insolvent and the collapse starts to happen, this is not good. This is not good for the system and the way the whole thing runs. So I got a big video about that coming out this week. So I'm going to talk about that and I'm going to go deeper into that. But I thought it was interesting that he got back with me and is like, yeah, I'm looking into those Fortune 500s, in particular these five. And the five he told me are the five that everybody thinks is the great stocks to own in the world. And they're just turning out to be not frauds, but they're supported by the money machine.
Mm-hmm.
And the money machine isn't going anywhere. It's another thing too. So don't panic. Don't worry. They're going to keep propping the whole Ponzi up, which means what? If you own crypto, that means it's going to go up. So you're in a good place. Or if you own precious metals or, any of those things. So it's all going to be a good thing. What number, numerically, it's going to go up. Value is going to stay about the same. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back to the trial, I'm going to leave most of that to Elizabeth, and
Yeah.
she's going to be a regular guest on Saturdays. We hope Friday night or Saturday is her time, is the best time. And a bird just ran into the window over here, so that's what I was checking. I think he's okay, but
Nice.
I don't want to stop the live stream.
Yeah.
I think he's fine.
Hopefully. The show
Yeah,
must
because
go
there's a
on.
lot of cats around here.
Yeah.
He better get his act together quick.
Real fast. Real
Yeah.
fast.
So, what else you got? What other questions you got?
Big shout out to you, Ron, and all of our Florida fans watching today. My dad and I have both lived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and really sending some love, man. I hope you guys got through that flooding okay. And it's still one of my very favorite places in the world. It's definitely my favorite place in Florida. There's just something about Lauderdale.
Yeah,
She's
it's a good
special.
spot.
Yeah.
And I met a few people
Dad,
from
everybody's
Florida.
saying just go ahead and throw Gensler in prison. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
You know what's going to happen? I told you on the show a bunch of times. He'll get promoted.
Okay, yeah.
Of course. You want to hear even worse than that?
Let's have it.
They'll go into trial or the next level of hearing the case, and he'll get promoted, and it'll all be hearsay from the previous director, which is the situation that we're currently in. I know nobody wants to hear that, but that's the kind of shenanigans they pull. And I know that makes sense to everybody I just said that to.
Hamster wheel. Just
Right.
keeps going around. We'll
Yeah.
just keep this thing going around,
He's
baby.
no longer the director. He's been promoted to, and it's just like, oh, he's not here for testifying. It's like, man, really? Again? Are we going through that again? But ultimately, people, I want everybody to understand this. And this is a beautiful part about XRP in particular. Can you imagine if you just owned Cardano, right? I don't want to hear bad things about Cardano. I happen to like I like those coins too. Okay, but they don't have anything to look forward to. You and I know that when this case is over, even if we get fined, slapped on the hand, or go on your way, we're going to run the banking system, or likely to run the banking system in the future. So we have a great verdict coming our way, possibly, or if it goes to the Supreme Court, chances are probably going to go our way. I'm just putting that out there. Elizabeth isn't. She's the voice of reason. But I'm saying we're probably going to win the thing. If that occurs, can you imagine we at least have something to look forward to? They're in the middle of this bull market, and they're just like, I own those coins. And what are they looking forward to? I mean, they don't have anything like I know we've been through the pressure cooker, and it's been a tough, what is it, 2.5 years now? 2.5 years.
I had not thought about it that way until you brought that up to me a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a different animal now. This is when this trial's over, it's, green light.
All cryptos will rise.
Yeah.
If we get the verdict, or 75% of the outcome in which we're hoping for, all crypto will go crazy. I believe. But not like XRP, obviously. But I mean, XLM, XDC, Quant, all those will take off. Again, at the end of the year, I'll do a video about getting that one wrong. But
Yeah.
right now is the one I'm going with. What else we got in there?
Lots of Gensler, lots of Fort Lauderdale.
Old ass.
Hey there, crew. Hey to you, Rye Guy. Hi to Becky. She's been with us since the beginning of the chat.
Becky's in the house.
Yeah, what's going on, Ted?
Thanks, Becky. She's the one that's getting the band back together, if you will. Lewis and I together. She's been working on it, sending
Nice.
emails back and forth. He did text me last night, Becky. Thank you very much. I texted him back today. So you guys in the crew can look forward to, Mr. Lewis Jackson and Alan Staple doing shows together, and possibly
Nice.
Brent, possibly Elizabeth. We're going to be doing some work together in the future. So he's a guy, and I said this yesterday, and I really mean it, about certain. I like to say nice things about people I really like. So there's channels I don't bring up, and you can probably assume why. But he's a guy who, from the day I heard him, I thought I resonate with that guy. He resonates with me on a spiritual vibrational level, if you will. And for me, that's really important. And he's a lot like me. He's a student of the world. He's not scholastically brilliant. I want to do the research for myself, and I don't want to know what everybody thinks of what is today. I want to know where it's going. And that's really my strength in life, is when somebody tells me something, I look at it and I go, okay, but what does that matter in the long run? Where is that headed? What does that mean to my life? What does that mean to the crew's future? You know, how do I analyze that to be plus or minus for the well-being of the people in which I know and who are my family and friends? So he has that, and that's huge. And he's tireless in his research, and I love that about the guy. Yeah, and he's young, so he's got the young and good-looking thing going for him, which is, you guys.
Dad, do you know his channel?
Yeah, I believe it used to be called Lulu. I think it was Lulu, but it's Lewis Jackson. It's terrible. I don't.
Yeah, we'll look it up and we can comment about it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to necessarily promote.
I just want to check it out.
Yeah.
You got me curious now.
No, he's really good, Brent. You're gonna love him.
Nice.
Yeah, really good. There's a bunch of them. DAI, I love DAI. I love his show. I don't want to go through the list.
Yeah.
Dave, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know the players involved here. But what else we got in the AMA? What's Becky asking about?
She said, "Good. I'm glad you two were able to hook up." She said if Judge Torres ruling is XRP centric, the rest of this space is really panic. Interesting.
Is really panic.
Oh yeah, she said Lewis Jackson, Crypto Lulu.
Crypto Lulu, that's it.
LEW.
Right. She's right about that statement. The one point I'd like to make about that is with the library case that Elizabeth and I were talking about yesterday. We looked it up and we actually found it. The judge actually, behind chambers, she couldn't find anywhere where it was printed, unfortunately, but it did come out that the secondary market was not considered a security. So that's huge. And that's going to be huge for all coins going forward, including XRP. So that came out in a negative ruling. A positive came out of a ruling. But I see what she's saying.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Gensler says he's going to try them all individually. I have a theory and a reason why he's doing that. It's called kick the can down the road.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to extend this and extend it and extend it and extend it. So that way it can be in the evening news every night that crypto bad. So as long
Yeah.
as humanly possible. Yeah. If you tried them all at once and came up with a verdict, the story would be over. They can collapse exchanges and certain coins and popular coins over the next decade. I know it's kind of a cynical way of looking at it and not so positive, but I believe it to be true. So, but I also
loved we had this really funny conversation the other night, and Dad, you and I were talking about like this exact same thing. And remember the ladder conversation where it's like, hey, are these guys stalling on purpose because maybe they're trying to figure the CBDC thing out, or they're they're trying to innovate something and get ahead of the curve, or are they just a bunch of chimps that are clueless and they don't care to do the reading and research on any of it? Like, and so I'm kind of asking that, and Dad's like, yeah, I think it's the latter, actually.
It's the latter. They're chimps in suits.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it sure looks that way for my whole lifetime.
Well, all you really need to do is look at what they did with Gensler, right? They took him directly out of Goldman, then they made him a Hillary Clinton's campaign manager or fund manager, and then they put him back in Goldman, and then they threw him in MIT. Had absolutely no credentials or skills or reason to be in MIT as this crypto authority. And then now that he's got the cred of, well, he was a professor at MIT, and now he runs the SEC as if he has some sort of cred on the street into crypto. All you have to do is listen to the guy talk, and it's just like, that guy really doesn't get it. Like, if he does get it, he's lying. I mean, it's really frustrating to see these people. And it was actually, gosh, who was I was talking about? He'd actually been to Washington, D.C. and talked to a bunch of these senators and congressmen. And he was telling me, yeah, their 25-year-old aides don't get it. Okay. And they're like trying to relay crypto tech or knowledge to their boss who's 80, and the aide is 25, and the boss is so busy with martinis and golf course that the 5 minutes that she actually gets to talk to him, he's like after the second sentence, he's just checked out. Like, oh, crypto, yeah, whatever. We're just gonna, never mind. We'll put that in the back burner. We have no time for that right now.
Yeah, I can't be late to my golf appointment.
Yes, and yeah. So, and as we know, they don't read anything. So, it's a sad state of affair in this country. That now I'm going to get on my soapbox again. We have people that represent us who don't believe in innovation or the future of mankind and the well-being of the poor. And it's clear in their denial of crypto as a whole, technologically, could do all of those things for all mankind, and they know it, and they don't care. And in what a country in which was built upon entrepreneurs, built upon freedom and liberty, they clearly no longer believe in such theories or thought. And it's sad to me, not the country in which I feel like I grew up in, but I'm sure I did. I just suppose I was just naive to it. But it's sad because it will come around to bite them and us. And, places like Hong Kong that are adopting it. By the way, June 1st, the banking capital of the world is about to explode in crypto. And we're going to be standing around here dealing with, Pocahontas. So yeah,
Yes, we are.
yeah,
That's just wild. That is
it's
wild to me.
so sad.
It's
Yeah,
just sad.
I was listening to somebody. Somebody was telling me the other day. Um, he was listening. God, who was that? Matt yesterday, maybe. He was. Well, should I go to Dubai? Should I move to the Caribbean? Should I move to, where do you go? But
Yeah.
yeah, sad. El Salvador one day,
El
I guess.
Salvador.
I could, you won't get murdered at least.
Yeah.
More than you can say for Chicago. But yeah,
Oh, hotspot.
yeah. What else we got in the chat, Brent?
Um,
What do you guys think?
Brent's gonna have to get the comments in front of him for the future. 100%.
Yeah,
I couldn't screen on my computer today. I had to do it via my phone, but I'm gonna
yeah,
troubleshoot that in the future.
yeah,
I know this probably looks silly, but I definitely want to make sure and see what you guys are writing to us. Shout
yeah.
outs from Northern Ireland, the UK, and New Jersey.
Sweet.
We got folks from Florida.
The crew is far and wide. I have a lot of Brit.
These people are funny, man.
Oh yeah, no, they're hilarious.
They're great.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and I'm sure I'm the brunt of most of the jokes, which I'm good with.
yeah.
Please, yeah.
Yeah, please let me have it. It's fine. They're like,
I'm
who's
good
that
at
guy
that.
again? That's the kid?
Yeah,
Junior. It's like,
I'm
put the old man back on.
yeah, I'm impossible to offend, but
Yeah.
keep trying. Yeah,
I
I love
told my
the
dad
effort.
I didn't really get offended too much, especially as I got older, but it was
Yeah,
something that I worked on the last few years. It was like, man, I got zero time for that. It'll
there's no value in it.
it'll play on your emotions so fast and you'll be in a crap mood and you have a whole different day that you never wanted to deal with. And
Right. And meanwhile,
what?
they've gone on with their day. They don't even
Yeah.
remember the remark.
Yeah. No.
And you're still
No.
carrying it on your back somewhere. Yeah, it's worthless.
I was thinking about this late last night, just jumping up on my soapbox. Um, you know, you talked about it in the AI video as well. It kind of about like politicians and I was what did
What I say?
you wrote down? Oh man, you had some comment on it. It was so good, but it's like I'm so done with trying to pick sides and
Yeah,
like all of us are all different, every single person in the world,
yeah, right.
and we all have different levels and forms of morality and how we do things and what we were
Yeah,
raised with,
yeah,
and I want to see and I want to help create in my life a world where we can appreciate each other's culture. Even if it's your neighbor next door, they've got a different culture. They eat
yeah,
different stuff. They think about stuff differently. Their families from a different country probably once upon a time.
right.
And like I want to be able to trade with those people.
Yeah,
I want to be able to do business with them. Like having this channel and talking
yeah,
about financial things and us especially seeing what my dad has done with this channel, it's just opened me up to like, wow, we can do a lot with each other globally.
globally. Yeah,
If we choose to become the banks, and it
yeah.
will be our choice, and it'll be a learning
And,
curve, and it'll be tough. It'll be way harder than it is easier to
yeah,
start, but
yeah.
we're all
And
getting started. If you're here
it,
in this live chat, you're already getting started,
yeah, oh yeah. No, you are.
and
That,
there's
that,
something about blockchain technology and
there,
for
that's where I was
politicians
going to
and
go.
for economists to not do the homework on it, or to not care, or to be incentivized not to care.
That's
Um,
it.
you're not doing a great service to the whole.
No.
And I think part of
Yeah.
becoming a more open-minded person as an adult dad is more just like, yeah, I'm super happy and I'm super proud to be an American, and that's awesome. But I've worked with people who've lived all over the world and
Right.
known people who've lived all over the world, and they're
I've been
amazing.
blessed too.
They're
Yeah.
amazing. Like,
Amazing.
I
Yeah.
love going to different countries and speaking to very different people. And
Well, if you
you
think
know,
about it, we
it could be a good little happy world
yeah.
pretty
If you
fast
really
if we
think
all made
about
that decision.
if you look about think about it like this, our opinion, okay, of somebody from Ireland or America or UK or wherever is essentially based upon a politician or the media telling you what their country politicians are doing or thinking, which has nothing to do with the people, right? We already know they don't represent us, right? So, like, and when you go to the countries, and like, I've been to so many countries, guys. Being a yacht captain, I mean, that's kind of what I do, right? But every time I go there, there's never been a country that was what I was told it was going to be like. Never. I've never met a person from another country that I didn't get along with. And
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
me too.
well, he's Russian. I'm like, okay, what's that mean? Like, I haven't met him yet. How would I know who he is? Oh, well, he's probably like this. Well, how the hell would you know that? How would you how would you know who that person is? You mean all Russians are identical? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Like, it's just so foolish. And we're too smart. We're too spiritually connected, and we're learning about all that. We're understanding that it's not a 3D world. It's not a linear world. It's a deeper world than that. And we're not connected through ones and zeros. We're connected through vibration and mankind and well-being. And when you understand that, you understand that somebody else can't tell you what somebody else is, because their connection to was either on or off at the time that they met the person. Anyway, now I'm babbling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been blessed because we work on boats and we get to meet people from all over the world. So
That
yeah,
was the best part. That was the
yeah,
best
the
part.
people.
Yeah.
And my
That,
favorite, believe it or not, are, well, I don't know what you politically correct call them anymore, but third world countries are they're
mhm.
magical. They're the best. They're they're people that have nothing and will give you what they have. And it's just like, wow, you know, what happened to that in the world? So cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
We got.
makes you want to do more for them or everything you can.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the AMA, well, what do you guys think of this kind of format? Just my son and I shooting the breeze. You guys coming up with some questions and letting me know what you guys want us to work on or think about or try and answer for you for the following week. So,
Yeah. And
um,
even with this one, it's just good to get here and talk to all of you. But we'll come in with some more specific stuff later too. Just topics and things that you guys seem to like on the show, and we'll make sure
yeah,
and get to those.
yeah.
Oh man, we got people coming in from everywhere, Dad. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
We got Canada, we got Texas, we got
Those damn Canadians.
Argentina, Sweden,
Very Canadian.
and then we got the Alchemist is coming in hot from Garyville, Ginslervania. Brilliant, sir.
Nice.
Or ma'am. Brilliant.
Love it. Yeah. Those of you who don't know, Elizabeth's Canadian. From birth. She's mid 20s, something like that. So became a lawyer here in the States. So, yeah. Yeah, we really love Canadians. Elizabeth and I moved to Vancouver Island for a few years, and a little slice of paradise. It really is amazing place to live, but rained a bit much. But take the good with the bad, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah. What else is in the chat down there? That's another
We
thing.
got,
I'm gonna have my computer up too, so where I can
We
read.
got really, really good comment. It's not that they don't care, it's that they don't want to change. And Hoover said that. Yeah, I mean,
That's a good point.
really good point. I agree.
Politicians
Yeah, yeah,
regarding
it's right in that
politicians. Yeah,
time of the conversation.
yeah.
Lot
That's
of
a good
love,
point.
sending a lot of love, Dad.
Nice.
When earlier,
Man, I love my people.
Alan is legend was on there. I have to agree.
I don't know about that.
I started calling him the Wonder Boy. You know, we'll get Captain back in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you guys, I know I'm good on. You might think I'm good on video, but I'm better in person. I really love people, and I really I'm getting more comfortable in front of the camera, so it's helping. But if you ever get a chance to be where I'm at, and I'll always tell you where I'm going to be, you should get there, because my favorite thing is people, and I really do enjoy all walks of life and every person in it. And Vegas was, I don't know, I don't want to make my whole show about Vegas, but it was special, and I know the ones coming up are going to be just as special. They really will be. And yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that want to meet me personally, like me too. Right?
Yeah.
You already know, you get to know me, and I don't get to see you or know you. So yeah, and I'm the people guy here, man. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's fun.
Yeah, we can't wait. This Vegas trip and us doing live shows and some more ideas coming for the future of the show has really lit the fuse. I feel like for us in the last couple weeks. I was so excited that Dad was going to Vegas, and just wanted to thank you all for the love and good times that you showed my parents. I'm going to the next one, and I can't wait. And I will talk to you about anything. That's what's fun. That's what's fun about you and I, Dad. And there's nothing I don't want to talk to people about. We've done a lot of different stuff in our life, and it's fun. It's just fun.
I got to meet people who did everything. Like, I'd be like, okay, well, you already know what I do. Let's not talk about me. I want to talk about you, and people will tell you their life story. And do you know how fascinating everybody's story is? Yeah, you might think, oh yeah, well, I just run this little company in a small town in the Midwest. You have so much to share. Brent and I did a whole show, I think, wasn't it, Brent, that we talked about how everybody should do a show. Should have a YouTube video show, but not for everybody, I guess. But
if you've ever considered it, take the time and really think about what you could talk about all the time, and what you're going to be excited to talk about in the future. I think are the big ones.
What makes my show easy for me is economics, crypto, and people. Those are my hobbies. Those are what I study. Those are what I appreciate in life. That's who I am. I don't have to oh man, I got to study about crypto or what's going on in the world or what's happening economically in the world. No, that's just what I do every day. I'm going to do that whether I have a show or not. You might as well get the content. Yeah. So I'm really excited about. There's 2 or 3 people out there, and they're probably in the chat that are.
Joanna had to run, Sending you
Oh,
all the love back, Joanna.
she's awesome. She's awesome. Um, but one of the people, not one, there's 3 or 4 that I told them I would give them all the help I can, all the advice I can, text me day and night about them starting a show. And Wayne is one of them. There's a guy named Mike and Mike. They're best friends. They're talking about doing a show. And let's see, who else? God, just talked to 4 people. Um, G's talking about doing it. Gus, I don't know if he's in the life. He's down in San Diego. His girlfriend is a life coach, and she and I just, as you can imagine, just hit it right off. Um,
That's so
if,
cool.
yeah, if I were to like describe what my son's life, if I could wish for him to do something in life, it would be for him to be a life coach. I think he's that kind of person. He's got that kind of spirit. He cares about people, and I think he knows more about tough times, true love, and good ways to go through difficult times in your life. A lot of people have had just an easy life, and Brent maybe not so much in some ways, but he always smiled his way through it, and he always gave people a reason to love him and hope around him. And when I meet other people that are life coaches, because people have, like friends of mine have said, man, you're like having a life coach. Yeah,
Mhm.
we all are. We all can be. But some people were born to do it. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
put Brent in that category. And
Wow,
go,
Dad. That's
yeah.
thank you. You know me very well.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
of all the of all the things that I could have done in school back when, like going back and it, no
Yeah.
regrets,
Yeah.
but I think I would have been a gifted counselor,
Sure.
or
Yeah.
life coach, life
Yeah.
now a life coach,
Right.
um, for sure. Um,
Yeah.
I just want to see uh, people gain momentum.
Yeah.
And you get a little momentum going, then you taste it again, and you get a little more momentum going. Put your head
Yeah.
down, work a little,
Yeah.
you know, this and
Yeah.
that, and your life has changed.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and that's exciting stuff for me. We've talked to you guys about that. Dad and I have done healing seminars and energy work, and that is exactly the same avenue. One of my best friends, who I have I met her at one of those seminars, and she's also working at being a life coach, and just gifted person.
Yeah.
Just the I wanted, I'd want to go through her class, and so just knowing that I'm attracting those kinds of friends and those kinds of people, it's so fun. And there's so many people like that at the crypto seminar that we went to together, Dad. And
Oh,
I can
yeah.
just sense it. I can just sense the quality of the people, and the intelligence.
Yeah.
Not having to be right, but building
Yeah.
a creative conversation. That
Yeah.
we can both gain steam from. That's why I
Actually,
can't wait to go to more seminars with all of you guys.
the XRP crowd is even like another step above that. It's, I was blown away. I I felt like everybody I spoke with was as sharp as I, if not
Yeah.
sharper, some most people. Do you know
Wow.
how rare that is? You know how rare that is when you walk in a room and everybody you meet has got their crap together all in one bag, and you're standing there talking to them, and you're like, this person's going places. This person, I'm standing here talking to these people, and they got it. They get it. Their future is bright. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And it was just like, wow, this is infectious. I want to live right here. You know, I want
Yep.
to live in that space. So, yeah, and that's it, Brent. You got it.
It's
That's
it's inspirational.
it
It's
is.
a total
Yeah,
inspiration to be in
yeah.
those rooms.
And we're changing the world, people. We really are. And I know it's tough, but it's more than money. It's way more than money. And um, money helps, obviously. Money helps a lot of things, but we're doing way more. Doing bigger things than just getting rich. And
Yeah.
you know, the fact that they're afraid of crypto at the top tells you all you need to know right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they are afraid, clearly, yeah. Especially XRP.
Yeah.
It'll make it every time I do any kind of research into XRP and to where it's going. And I just spent right before the show, I spent like 2 nights just deep diving into what Brazil's doing with it. It's just like, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't realize how big Brazil is. It's like they got it. It's gonna eliminate so much banking corruption, people. Like this whole, we all complain about politicians and different things, but the bottom line is this: the corruption is at the bank level. Okay, because the banks control the politicians. Rockefeller view controls the money. Controls the politicians. Um, and if you can eliminate the corruption level or the ability to corrupt with the old system that's dying, it's a win-win for humanity. And that's what I was talking about in the AI video. So hopefully you guys caught some of that.
Yeah.
Those of you who haven't seen that video, you should check that one out. It was pretty good.
Of the things that my dad has talked to me about and kind of come back up, like things that he and I repeat to each other about what's going on with all this. I thought you nailed a lot of those points in the AI video. The way you tied together blockchain, Web 3.0, AI together, and
Yeah,
how you can use that to work for you. You
right.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
not the tech. It's not the tech itself,
no.
but it's how it's being corrupted.
Yes.
It's
And
not.
I
It's
think
not
it
the
was
blockchain's fault. It's not
no.
the stock's fault. It's not the. It's how it's being manipulated.
There was somebody who sent me. I was in the comments, and guys, terrible. She comments in every video. I can't remember her name. Wasn't Becky? Wasn't Joan? Anyway, this is terrible. I'm sure she's watching. I feel terrible. I can't remember. She posted the last few minutes of that video gave me goosebumps. It was emotional,
Yeah.
and it was from the heart, Ellen, or whatever she put. I'm paraphrasing. And when when you do a video and then you just post it and you're like, yeah, okay, well, there's a video, and then somebody posts something like that, you just immediately go back and watch the video. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, maybe I missed something. And then
Mm-hmm.
I get to see it almost like through a completely different vision myself after doing them.
Yeah.
That's that, and then she was right. If you watch the last 2 or 3 minutes of that video, it was heavy in a level that we've got this. They don't know they're obsolete yet, but on a spiritual plane, they're obsolete. They just
Mm-hmm.
are, and yeah. So it was really cool that she pointed that out.
Maybe as we change, we'll finally see them change.
Yes, well,
Us,
we are the
us
leaders.
at the ground level being the influence.
Yeah, we are the leaders.
Yeah.
I know most people don't. Most people have given government their power, but this is not the case, people. The power lies with the people, and the people create change, and they follow us. They've been falsely titled the leaders of men. No, they're not leaders of men. Okay, that's not who they are, and that's not what they do. They figure out what we want to hear because this is where we're going. And then they run their campaign on that. And then they get in and forget what they even thought about. But yeah, forget what they even got elected on. But I know a lot of them's heart's in the right place. So I don't like to totally bag on all politicians. But, you know, they're not earning their keep lately, if you ask me. But not a political channel. Yeah. Here's one for you guys. Since Lulu and I are going to do a video, what do you guys want us to do a video on? I mean, obviously, he and I are going to meet, but I was thinking of a bunch of different theories, but I got all kinds of conspiratorial things we could talk about. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Hey,
Brent
Dad,
and I
I might lose us here in a second.
well, we should probably get off anyway. We've been on here a while. But Brent and I will get more controversial. This is what we do.
Oh yeah,
We
we'll
will-
go deep, baby. However
Yeah.
deep y'all want to go.
We've
Do it.
we've gone pretty deep, guys. This is kind of an introductory video, and if you want us to deep dive into conspiratorial things, we're okay with that. Put them in the chat, and what you would like my 2 cents on as far as anything. That's what an AMA is. Ask me anything, and I'll do my best without getting bounced off YouTube to try and answer it for you.
Yeah, we done good so far. We're
Yeah.
hanging in there, Dad.
Yeah, I almost got a strike, but that's about the whole Ukraine thing. So, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm at the point now. I'm like, Dad, just go for it, man. Go.
yeah. They were like, "We're
The
going to
crew
give you
will
a strike."
follow us somewhere else, Like, go for it.
Yeah, they're like, "If you want to protest this strike, you can, or you can just take the video down." I was like, "Yeah, whatever. I'll just take the video down." And I reshot it without that sentence in there. So
Yeah.
sad, but that's the world we live in.
Censorship. Yuck.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Here's kind of kind of a cool little story. I received a phone call about a month ago now, and that guy was, "Hey, it's come to my attention that you were talking about this and this and that, and you won't be talking about that anymore, right?" I was like, "Yes, sir, no problem." And that was about banking and a particular bank and a particular branch of the government owning that bank. If you guys remember that video, and he's a big shot for Goldman Sachs.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "You're not talking about that anymore, right?" I was like, "Nope, no, never mind."
No,
Never mind. I go, "Do you want me to take the
swear.
video? You want me to take the video down?" He's like, "No, it's already out of the bag. I mean, I already caught heat for that around the office." I was like, "Oh, okay. Sorry about that one." I go, "They watch my channel?" He's like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "Wow, I'm impressed."
Wow.
I go, "Don't," he goes, "Don't be. They're just a bunch of losers, man." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." He goes, "They just sit around looking for something to hate." And I was like, "Wow."
Ugh, no.
It's there. And I'm not saying this is, man, I shouldn't be saying all this, but it's their HR department. That's who you got to look out for, kids. That's who's scrutinizing the face of the planet. And Lisa, sweetheart, love you. She works in HR. Not all of them that way. That's not my point. But in those big, big, big companies, there's lower levels of them to where that's what they do. It's research any content that says their name in it. That's what they look for. Yeah. Anyway. Hey guys, it's been what, an hour and a half? Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hour 28. Nice.
Okay. So Brent and I, without you guys, I'll probably talk for another hour. But
Right?
but
Yeah, we'll talk about what we're gonna do for the next one, Dad.
yeah, definitely. But I think this is a great first start.
Mhm.
We won't be able to do it maybe every weekend, but we're going to try and do it as much as possible, and maybe even do two of them weekly and do them shorter, and maybe
Yeah,
have a specific topic that we'll get into. Um,
yeah,
but I really want your questions because it's really hard for me because I'm a really verbal guy, as you guys probably figured out.
Mm.
But you guys post stuff, and I'm not a typist. You know, it's not. I don't. I'm not a typer guy. So I want to talk to you about it. So I really respond better to verbal questions, and that's we're all different. We all learn differently. So that's
yeah.
the way I clear my head of those answers. So when you type a question, I can maybe answer it for the next time we go live. And
Real,
or
uh, couple real quick, Dad. When is your show with Lewis?
he and I have not booked anything as of yet. He did say, "What do you think about this week?" So it sounds like he's open. Uh, so we have a big time difference, so not too bad. My early is his late afternoon. So
Cool.
um, yeah, well, he and I'll do something fun. His interviews are bomb. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I'm
those are
gonna
my
check
favorite.
him out.
Yeah, no, you'll love his stuff, and I'm honored to be on his show. To be honest. Was a misunderstanding. He sent me an email going, "Hey man, I want you on my show," and I just thought, "Yeah, right. Everybody says they're Lewis," you know. I didn't think it was him. So
Yeah,
yeah, and we just kind of I sent something back, kind of smart ass or something, Did wasn't really think it was him, and I don't know whether it went in his spam or whatever the deal was, but we didn't connect. But we are now, and we will do many shows together, I'm sure. I
nice.
also have something coming up with Zach. Zach and I did something poolside. It didn't work out. Too much ambient noise. So he and I will do something together in the future. And you know,
Yeah, I'd love to see more.
um,
Love to see more of you and Zach.
yeah, yeah. You can't believe how many people came up to me and told me that was their favorite interview. They've watched it a long time. So
I
yeah,
love it.
I don't know why I was.
Somebody
I do
did.
it better
Somebody
now. I think.
somebody wrote in the comments that like Zach looked like 9 feet tall standing next to you.
Yeah. No, he is. Yeah. Hey, come on, guys. I'm short, but I'm 5'6", so I'm pretty short, right? But he's like 6'4", maybe
Yeah.
more. Yeah, yeah. So he's a big dude, but he's got a big heart. He's an amazing guy, and I will tell you, he's exactly who he looks like. This is something I want to say. Man, I shouldn't be talking out of school, out of class about everybody, but like DAI is exactly who you think he'd be. Okay. Brad is exactly who you would think he is. I didn't really get to know Brad Garlinghouse all that well, but I did kind of introduce myself. He and both of us got to talk a little bit, but Brad Grimes is who I'm talking about. He's better. He's better in person. Like he was amazing to me. He made me feel like I was one of the most important people in the XRP space. That's amazing, right? And I'm certainly not that. And he made me feel that way. Dave is exactly who you would think he is. Now I'm talking out of class about everybody behind their back, but they're really good people, and that's who they are in person. So that's what I appreciate because I am who you see. That's pretty much what I do. All right. Does this mean your battery's going dead, Brent?
Yeah, but over the last like week, my charging port is like breaking. So
Oh,
I'm gonna go
damn.
get a new phone this week.
Okay.
But yeah, I just didn't want to cut out and lose you guys. So I'm
Do you have
good.
any last words for everybody?
Oh yeah. I love you guys. Like I feel your love and support. And the way you've treated my dad and the relationships that you all have made together just makes me so excited to be a bigger part of this and join you guys in the fun. And so I'm going to be definitely back, like Dad said, for hopefully do a show a week. And then whenever you want to do more, Dad, or roll on anything, we will.
Yeah. Great. Thanks for coming, Brent. And like I said, it should at least be a weekly thing.
Mhm.
It I have to say, I made a promise to everybody at the show because everybody, it was unanimous. They were like, could you please produce more content? And I was like, I'm a really busy guy, but if you're asking, I'll go. I'll do it. And I was so taken by that. Like about the 10th person that asked me, I was like, okay, when spirit comes to you, or the great man in the sky says, hey, are you hearing me? You need to do more content. And that's what I'm going to do. And we have such a great, incredible family, and the entire space, all the content providers and all the listeners. It's just amazing group. So I want to be a bigger part of it. And I'm not the guy, I don't care about subs. I care about who's in here with me. And
Yeah.
that's, if you're with us, great. If you got something better to do, that's cool too. I totally appreciate that. But I don't know that this channel will ever be massive, but it will be intimate and it will be us.
Yeah.
And that's all I ever really cared about. So
Me too.
I will do more content. I've been trying to do more with Elizabeth, and I'm going to do some with Brent, and I'm still going to do my regular show, at least a show or two a week. So with that, I should be 4 or 5 days a week, hopefully, which is kind of crazy because
Mhm.
I have a big life, but it's
You
going
are
to get
this
bigger.
guy.
Yeah. Okay.
That all
All
sounds
right,
good,
guys.
Dad. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Love
with
you,
that,
man.
I love you too, son. We are
Out.
out.
We're going off screen, right? You got
Yeah,
something for us, don't you?
I do. We're still live though, right?
I think I'd also go with Marianne. Yeah, yeah. I'd go with Marianne. Ginger was pretty gorgeous as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
I think we are.
Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna cut out of it. I love you guys. Have a great week.
And already. In the live stream, yes. Unbelievable.